We'll begin in Tanzania now, where the newly sworn-in President Samia Suluhu Hassan has called for peace and urged all sides to bury existing differences while repeatedly giving assurance of stability in the country. Samia, in her inaugural speech, said she has been sufficiently prepared for the role by her predecessor, John Magufuli. Samia has been vice president under Magufuli since 2015. She described late Magufuli as a patriot who was committed to transforming Tanzania. Magufuli, who died on Wednesday of a heart condition, will be buried on 25th March in his western home village of Chato. Now, public affairs analyst and, of course, senior policy and governance expert joins us live from Kenya for more on this. Thank you so much, Ahmed Hashi, for joining us on the news at this time.
I'm very happy to be here, and I want to say hello to all my Nigerian friends and countrymen as well.
I'm sure they're greeting you back as well. Now, let's talk issues in Tanzania now, where following the death of John Magufuli, what are some of the things you expect from Samia, especially in this COVID-19 era?
Well, Ms. Samia has played secondary roles in government for a very long time. And her political economy, or her thinking as far as public policy is concerned, is not yet well known. But I could firmly say that she is going to deviate from the late President Magufuli in one very strong way, and that has to do with COVID-19. Mr. Magufuli did not believe in shutting down the economy and shutting down the lives of Tanzanians over the issue of Magufuli, that like the rest of the world, and he pushed on, and he finally, I believe, succumbed to complications from his heart and from COVID-19. Madam Samia is not an outsider. She has been working in the government for the last 25 years, maybe 30 years, and she has served under every president in Tanzania. But I really believe that she's going to bring a truly new, fresh thinking to government in Tanzania. The policy thrust that she should continue from the legacy of President Magufuli is the anti-corruption fight. I think that is very important because Mr. Magufuli, to his credit, cleaned up corruption in Tanzania. The second thing that she needs to do is to bring together the opposition and the government. Because Mr. Magufuli was very, very tough on the opposition, and some of them had fled the country. And hopefully those men will come back. The third thing that Mr. Magufuli was doing that was not right was that he did not really believe in the freedom of the press, or more appropriately, the right of the press to criticize the president. I think that we're going to get a gentler, kinder president in Ms. Samia, Madam Samia, and the more profound issue in this, if I can pause it, is that there is one man, the late Julius Kabarega Nyerere, who is called Mwalimu in this region, teacher. While the rest of the governments in Africa were working on the hardware of the state, Mr. Nyerere was working on the software of the state. So he produced a nation state in Tanzania, where the people and the government did not have ethnic divisions, which is a huge problem in our continent, as you know. And therefore, it was very easy for a Muslim woman from the island of Zanzibar, who was vice president, to be constitutionally put into power without any problems from ethnic groups or groups in society, is to bring together the opposition and the government. Because Mr. Magufuli was very, very tough on the opposition, and some of them had fled the country. And hopefully those men will come back. The third thing that Mr. Magufuli was doing that was not right was that he did not really believe in the freedom of the press, or more appropriately, the right of the press to criticize the president. I think that we're going to get a gentler, kinder president in Ms. Samia, Madam Samia, and the more profound issue in this, if I can pause it, is that there is one man, the late Julius Kabarega Nyerere, who is called Mwalimu in this region, teacher. While the rest of the governments in Africa were working on the hardware of the state, Mr. Nyerere was working on the software of the state. So he produced a nation state in Tanzania, where the people and the government did not have ethnic divisions, which is a huge problem in our continent, as you know. And therefore, it was very easy for a Muslim woman from the island of Zanzibar, who was vice president, to be constitutionally put into power without any problems from ethnic groups or groups in society that were opposed.
All right, Ahmed, so I'm happy, sorry to cut in there, I'm happy you mentioned the issue of a crackdown on the media and of course hoping that Samia will bring some changes. Now, she's supposed to be the first female president of Tanzania and of course in the East Africa region. What are some of the forces or challenges you think she would be faced with being the first female president?
Well, that's exactly what I was trying to say, is that it is because of the way in which the Tanzanian society has been crafted in the last 50 years.
He answered the second one.
That has produced the fact that she's the first female president in East Africa since independence. It is a message, it's a huge message that's being sent out to Africa. It's a huge message being sent out to the world. And on top of that, she's a hijabi clad Muslim woman. And that shows you that the issues of faith and ethnicity in the Tanzanian society have been largely solved. And when people look at the images of these things, they don't see a woman, maybe. They don't see a hijabi woman, maybe. They don't see the gender of this, but they see Madam Suluhu, who's a Tanzanian par excellence. And I think that this is a massive moment for Africa today, and it shows young women across the continent that Africa is making progress on the gender front. It is not making as much progress as we should, but this is an encapsulated moment of definition, and it is a victory for democracy in Eastern Africa and in Africa as a whole.
Okay, let's look at the other issue of economy now in Tanzania. What are some of the things that you feel should be put in place? I know that COVID-19 affected a lot of the economy of Tanzania. So what are the headlines or the head points that she should be looking at?
I think the most important thing that you should look at is the economy of Tanzania, because at the end of the day, the economy of Tanzania is what is going to feed Tanzanians. And that economy needs to be more integrated into East Africa, because the issues of having a nation state economy on its own is passé. Now you see there's the ECOWAS in West Africa, there's the South African bloc, there's the East African bloc. These blocs have preferential trade areas, and it should make sure that labor, goods and services, and movement of people are made easier so that citizens in East Africa can trade among themselves and make money. I think the second thing that she needs to really look at is to make sure that she's in tune with the East African COVID policy, because a national COVID policy does not work. It has to be a regional one and a continental one. I also think that she has to appoint a vice president. And I think that she has to appoint a vice president who's from the mainland, and it has to be a male, and it cannot be her faith, so that the entire symbol of the Tanzanian Republic is best expressed in those terms, because that's how she benefited, and it is now her turn to make someone else benefit, because Tanzania is way ahead in many ways than many other African countries on the issues.
All right. Okay, we're looking at equality there. I'm sure Samia has a lot on her plate, and we do hope for the best for her fulfilling the remaining tenure of the administration. Thank you so much, Ahmed Hashi, for joining us live from Kenya and, of course, talking about policies in Tanzania. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.